Good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. How are we all? Bit of a random one, isn't it? Doing this on a Wednesday morning here in the UK. How are we? Normally my Wednesdays are, for me. So, how are we all? We had a pretty profound one. I'm sat on something. We had a pretty profound one on Sunday, didn't we? So I felt as if I needed to jump back on today and just kind of like give a little bit more of an insight, give a little bit more information. I can see a few comments on here. Daryl, darling, you are very welcome. As I explained on Sunday, if you were watching, I needed to take a little bit of time off, but I'm back with a bang. And actually, the best thing has happened to me. It's interesting. As soon as I start doing a video, my phone rings. Every time without fail. It's so interesting. Every time. So it's almost like they know. I'm clearly being protected from speaking to this person because this has happened twice in 2 days now. It's exactly the same number. So it's very interesting. Anyway, like I was saying, guys, we are in such profound times on the planet right now. I have had to take a little bit of time off, and I hope that that's given you guys permission to take time off as well. But actually, what I'm going to be doing now is I'm being guided very, very heavily that we need to start ramping up, but not ramping up, telling people with what's going on, because quite frankly, most people know what's going on. And if you are here in the UK, you will have noticed that, we are starting to get some disclosure. Like, let me know. Have you seen anything in the papers recently? I was sent 10 articles overnight last night. I spoke about this on my Instagram live this morning. That I've been sent 10 articles of different saying about the V being taken offline in certain countries. There is discussions taking place around all different things that we've been speaking about as these old conspiracy theorists for the last 12, 14 months. And what is quite interesting right now is my guides keep saying to me, this is about collective consciousness. Like, completely, it's about collective consciousness. We must start really coming together. And, Daryl, Fran, Sam, thank you for your comments on here. This is what's important right now. We need to be coming together. We need to be searching out people that we can actually resonate with. Now, some days I will resonate with you. Some days I won't resonate with you. That's absolutely okay. All right, absolutely okay. It is more than okay for you to flip between. That's part of the human experience. It's part of our ego. It's part of our journey. Okay, we are not always going to be consistent. Hey, Keith, darling, I hope you're well. We're not always going to be consistent. So my recommendation to everybody right now is take some time for you. Take some time to figure out who it is that you want to be, and it's quite interesting. I'm just about to help my members that have gone through my Self-Love Club membership program, rewrite their story. This is what I would encourage each and every one of you to do right now. Like, what is it that you would like to see the future being like? Because this is the consciousness that we are creating. Now, something... Yes, Sam, absolutely right. You're going back and forth. You don't know which is right and what. You just need to take some time out and go inwards and sit with yourself. So I call that self-love. A lot of people find that selfish. For me personally, I don't think anybody can pour from an empty cup. So I feel you've got to fill your cup up so then whatever overflows is going to help people create the abundance. Now, talking of abundance, nicely worked into the conversation there. Literally just before I did this video this morning, I got a download of your financial worries are almost over. Now, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm doing good. I'm doing good. My businesses are doing really well. I've made the absolute best of this situation that we've been in all around the world. However, sorry, I've got an itch. However, I don't feel they were talking to me, or they were talking to me because obviously I'm part of the collective, but I feel they were talking about everybody. So I actually want to talk a little bit about that this morning. A number of people recently have come into my life or come onto my videos and they've said, oh, but money is bad, money is evil. And we've had this matrix over us for so many years that have said people with money are bad people. Look at the division at the moment. All of the elite are bad. Literally, that's the division. Oh, all of the elite are bad. They've all got their finger in these pies, blah, blah, blah. When actually the reality is we all deserve to be abundant. And you are going to know that, I think, within the next 12 months. Every single person on the planet is going to know that. I feel within the next 12 months. Please don't hold me to it. You know, timelines are jumping all over the place. It may be much sooner. It may be after that. However, I do truly believe, like, the information I'm getting at the moment is very much about finances, very much about money. And guys, if you like the sound of knowing abundance, like financially, in love, in health, in all of that, smash the thumbs up button for me, because I don't know about you, but abundance really resonates with my soul. It's not easy. It's not easy to comprehend when you have been living in a situation where perhaps you can't afford to put food on the table all of the time. Perhaps there's been a scenario in your life where you literally haven't been able to pay your bills and you've defaulted. Perhaps there's all of these things. Like, really sit with it. Sit with it and see yourself surrounded by, abundance. How does that feel to you? Because to me, it feels remarkable. I was not born into a wealthy family. My dad has created an amazing amount of abundance by working his backside off. Is that necessarily the only way you can make money? No. I respect him so much. He's worked so hard. Obviously, I'm one of his daughters, and obviously, it's amazing to see him doing that. Has my dad ever given me handouts? No, not to date. He never has. Everything that I've done on my own, because I've recognized and I've mirrored his work ethic. Now, I'm sharing this with you, not for any reason other than things are going to change. Things are going to change. For the people that are literally embodying this at the moment, literally, you are embodying it. You are embodying wealth, whether that be WELLTH, i.e. health, or if it is WEALTH. We're embodying wealth. Now, if you are somebody that is doing as you are told because the government is giving you money right now, so maybe you've gone and taken the V, or you've done this or you've done that, please know you are holding yourself back from this. It doesn't mean it's not going to come to you, but you are holding yourself back from this. All of the people that currently are in a situation where they're being judged, maybe, there's talk of you're not going to be able to go to the supermarket, or there's talk of you not being able to get on a plane. Please know this is, peaks and troughs that we need to go through right now. This is what I'm being shown very, very clearly. We need to hold the line. We need to hold the line with our belief systems, because what is coming is going to be far greater than we can ever imagine. However, you need to be able to imagine it. So it's kind of like a little bit of a contradiction that I'm sharing here. We must believe it in every cell in our body for it to be able to manifest. This is moving into the fifth dimension manifestation. It's not like it was before in 3D where you go, right, okay, that's the house that I want. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take action until that house becomes mine. I'm going to put it on a vision board or whatever. No, what you need to be doing is literally seeing yourself in there. Literally seeing yourself in that property, believing it, that it is yours. Because I'm going to say a few things that may trigger you this morning, but the whole point of me doing this extra video this week is I've been getting these messages that are literally like this in my heart space, and I want to share them with you. There is many things out there at the moment where we are having, we're having blocks put around us. Literally, we are having blocks put around us. We are seeing at the moment, even if you can see auras or anything like that, you can walk down a street and you can see generally who is looking after themselves and who is not. Now, for somebody that is in a lack, in a lack state of their mind, they are going to draw more lack to it. Okay, they are going to draw more lack to themselves. Even if they are like, yeah, I believe it, I know it, I'm doing law of attraction, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Unless you truly believe it in yourselves, and Emma, I know we were talking about this yesterday, unless you truly believe it in yourselves, unless you truly show up and allow people to find you, that is how this abundance is going to come. I'm not sitting back on my laurels and saying, oh, yes, I've done my work, I've done my soul mission, I'm just going to kick back and do nothing. No. Now is the time that I need to be sharing the gold and the gifts that I've been getting with you guys so that, you guys get them, but then I get even more of it. You guys know the mission that I have on this planet is phenomenal. I've got to do at least 5 healing centers. They're the 5 healing centers that they've channeled through to me so far. What if once those 5 are done, they say, hey, you did so well with the last ones, do another 10. So I'm focusing on that. I'm living as if I have these healing centers in place. I'm living as if, I know exactly what they're going to look like. I've got people that are designing stuff. I've got people that are literally ready to go with this. Now, I channeled this information in 2018, guys. 2018, way before COVID was even a thing. I got this massive download, and interestingly enough, I was in Brazil at the time, and I was just like, oh my gosh, I'm going to have 5 healing centers. Like, I was given this whole business plan that I needed to literally turn into reality. The day that I got given that from my guides is the day that I lived it as if it was true. And now you guys are witnessing the truth of it coming through. You are witnessing the abundance starting to flow in so that I can put these in place. We have to feel this. We have to believe it. If you are somebody, and here's a really good example, if you are somebody who's like, let's talk about weight for a minute. If you are somebody that's like, listen, I know that I'm holding on to weight at the moment because of my emotional trauma. Perhaps I'm not moving enough. Perhaps there's a number of things. Perhaps I'm dipping into the chocolate too much, but I'm holding on to this weight. And I know that I know it doesn't belong to me. If you are literally believing that it doesn't belong to you, it's not going to belong to you. However, if behind closed doors, as soon as your partner leaves the house or your kids go out, you go and have a biscuit, you are contradicting that belief. You are basically saying, yes, I want this to be true, but actually I don't have the willpower, I don't have the desire, I don't believe it enough that it is my reality. This is the way that 5D manifestation works. You have to find the highest vibration in alignment with it. Now, let's look at the healing centers just because it's a really good one. I know I'm going to have these 5 healing centers because I channeled this business plan when I was in a villa in Brazil. I literally channeled it and I looked at it and I went, I don't know where the hell that's just come from, but thank you. Clearly this is for me because it's just come through me. If I then sat there and went, I don't know how to heal. I don't know what to put in a healing center. I don't know what I'm doing. You guys have got to tell me what to do. Do you think that I would be this far along on the process of doing that? No. The reason I am creating the abundance, the reason I am having these incredible opportunities fall at my feet, literally, is because I believe it's done. I know humanity needs this. So the highest vibration is, I need to be a multi-billionaire purely to be able to create freedom for others. I need to heal humanity. And it's not me doing that, by the way. I need to hold space for humanity to heal. And that is the way that it's going to be coming in. It's not Lucy wants a new Ferrari or Lucy wants, 10 horses or anything like that. It's not about that. It's about finding that vibration that is going to be created off the back of your desires. I know that just in the 5 healing centers that are going to be placed strategically around the world, I know the whole of humanity that will be remaining will heal if they want to. Now, there will be many other healing centers out there. I'm not saying that it's just my healing centers that are going to do this. No, we're going to come together. There's going to be some people that use the technology. There's going to be some people that just use human power. There's going to be some people that call in the interdimensionals. There's going to be some people that use plant medicine. There's going to be some people that use proper medicine. Okay, remember this. Remember this, ladies and gents. It takes all of us to make this work. Sam in the comments has put, I'd love to help you somehow. How can we help, Lucy? What can we do? Sam, best thing you can do is drop me an email to globalinitiatives2021@gmail.com. If you send a message literally to there and let me know what it is that you want to get involved in. I've got 2 gorgeous women that are working through the inbox at the moment. We've had thousands, but they've done a really good job. A week or so ago, it was down to a couple of hundred. And although we're getting you in all the time, send an email and you will absolutely get an email back. Let me know what you want to do, babe. Let me know what you want to do. And the reason I say let me know what you want to do is because you might be sat there going, oh my God, I really want to help heal, but I don't know anything about it. Like, I don't know anything about it. So what I can do is I can hug the children. I can sit and play with the children whilst they're waiting to go through their healing or whatever. Do you get what I mean? So you need to let me know what fires your soul up. And this is what I'm saying. Like, I've trained the girls that are in charge of this inbox, because obviously I don't have time to do it, although I do get shared a lot of them. You guys are freaking amazing, by the way. Some of your ideas are so amazing. But basically what I'm saying to people is, don't come to me and say, well, do you know what? I'm a bookkeeper, so I can keep the books, when you don't love it. I want you to come to me and say, Lucy, I have this desire to like paint your healing centers. I want to put beautiful flowers all over it. I want to like literally create artwork to go on the walls so that every single person that comes through feels loved, feels safe, and feels excited to be there. They're ready to go on this healing journey. So anybody can get involved. Like I said, there's going to be 5 around the world. I know there's going to be one in New South Wales. It's going to be somewhere in and around Sydney, outside of Sydney, probably West Sydney. There's going to be one here in the UK initially. There's going to be one in America. Florida is where I've been shown for that. And I know that's really south, which is really odd. I don't know why it needs to be so far south, but I'm being shown Florida for that. I'm being shown one in South America. Really interesting. I'm being shown Costa Rica and Guatemala. I'm very drawn to Guatemala. If you haven't watched my Guatemala story, go and check it out. I did a series of insights on my YouTube channel right here. My Guatemala story will literally give you goosebumps. It will make your hair stand on end. You will cry. It's one of the most beautiful awakening stories that I have ever witnessed, and it was about me, which is just really, really beautiful. So please do go and listen to that, which is why I'm really drawn to Guatemala. And there is another location as well, and I feel it's in the Middle East area. Okay, Israel keeps coming up for me massively, but I don't know whether that's because of current things that are taking place around the world. And I always thought it would be Italy, interestingly enough, but I'm not feeling like it's Italy at the moment. I feel as if it's somewhere more into the Middle East. So that 5th one, I'm not too sure, but those 4 are exactly where I've been shown. Right? It doesn't mean that you need to be in one of those exact locations. For example, it might be that we set something up in New Zealand. It might be that we have like a subsidiary, or it might be the 6th one, or it might be. So don't think, oh my God, I don't live in those locations, I can't get involved. Trust me, I am literally pulling all of the healers of the world together so that I know where all of these locations are going to be. And then it might be, Sam, that you message me and you're like, hey, I'm in Boston. And I'm like, great, here you go. Here is, somebody in Boston or somebody in a close proximity to you that you can actually go and work with. Okay, this is for humanity. I am not here to mess about. My Guatemala insight is on YouTube, babe. If you go back, it's one of the insights. And I think I've called it the Guatemala journey, something like that. Literally, it will blow you away. Maybe what I'll do is I'll pop it through my stories today and in the groups, but it will blow you away. I've actually been approached by 2 people, movie directors, to create that story into a movie, which is really fascinating. Really, really, really fascinating. It is. I cannot say to you, if you want to truly believe what intuition is about or what it can do for your life, go and watch my insights. They will blow you away. I am a normal girl that was born into a normal family. Like I say, my dad grew up on a council estate. He married my mum very, very, very young. We moved around absolutely ridiculous amounts as when I was young, because my dad wanted the next thing and the biggest thing and da-da-da-da-da. He worked very, very hard. My parents split up. Like, I'm literally a normal girl from a little beach town in England called Bournemouth. That's where I'm originally from. And I cannot say to you, at the moment when I surrendered to the fact that literally my physical vessel wasn't working anymore, the gold took place. And that is how I've been able to create everything that you see in front of you today. I trust my intuition more than I trust myself. You know, I promise you. So Keith, I know that you're over that side of the world. I channeled one of the first ones that I channeled, and I thought it would be the first one that I set up, will be in New South Wales. So it's very, very interesting. I'm normally split between Surrey here in the UK and Sydney, Australia. Obviously, since all of this started, I've been here in the UK, and I haven't been able to leave. There was a reason I was here between the September 2019 and February. I only went to a couple of different countries in that period of time, which was very, very interesting. However, because normally I'm away, normally I'm in Sydney, or in Thailand or places like that. However, there was a couple of things that I had to be here for because of my my family. Then obviously I got back from Dubai in the February, and that was it. I was locked down. And I haven't been able to leave the country since February 2020, which is really unbelievable for me because I am a traveler. I am a wanderer. I've traveled the world and literally found healing modalities. I've traveled the world and I have found some of the biggest gifts in the form of plants, in the form of people, in the form of modalities, in the form of Eastern and Western medicine. And I've always been shown that I'm here to bring and to merge it all together because of healing humanity. I'm so pleased that you found me yesterday, babe. I really, really am. I'm really, really pleased. Everybody is finding me in divine timing right now. And it's interesting because I've been being shielded to the masses for a very long time. And now all of a sudden it's like the tribe are coming back together. The starseeds and light workers, the people that are here to literally help us change the world are coming together right now. So, like I say, I always thought that the one in New South Wales would be my first one because I love Sydney. It's where I say Sydney, but I'm in the bigger picture. I'm not actually in the city of Sydney. That's where I always thought it was going to be. I know now, I've been shown and I've been divinely guided. The first one needs to be here in the UK. Once I'm done with the one here in the UK, what I will be doing is I will be going over to Australia to do the one there. Now, this is the legacy, right? This is the legacy. So it may be I set up something in Australia, and then I say to Keith, right, Keith, mirror this in New Zealand. Here's the abundance. Here's whatever. Or even, I will go to New Zealand and I will help Keith find the location and make sure it's, the energy is in the right place or whatever. So guys, just because I'm talking about these 5, when I say to you, if you want to get involved, drop us an email to that thing. It might be that you're a builder and that you actually want to physically build these things. It might be that you're an artist and that you want to do that. It might be that you're a healer and you want to get involved. Like, honestly, quite frankly, we need everything. What you must remember right now is we are basically stopping this division. We are pulling us all together. The way that we are going to uprise, the way that we are really going to change everything is going to be by coming together. Soon enough, this division is going to stop. I promise you, soon enough, this division is going to stop. We're going to have lost many people along the way, and that's heartbreaking. We have to remember that they have chosen that. However, now what we are starting to see is people coming out and saying things like, maybe the CV deaths weren't actually CV. Maybe they were dying from other things, but with CV rather than of CV. Now, that's going to be huge. That's going to be a huge awakening for a lot of people. Okay. And what we are being shown right now, that sounds beautiful. Magdalene Lightworkers, that sounds beautiful. Oh my gosh, I love Portugal. Again, one of my favorite places in Europe. I love it. I've spent a lot of time there. I've traveled the whole country. I love it. I'm a real wanderer. Like, I can't say that enough. I'm a real wanderer. I love to immerse in cultures, and it's just beautiful. But guys, what I do want to remind you is every single one of us are needed for this. So please, as your friends, as your family are starting to come online, and the reason we've got so much noise going on at the moment, there's so much contradiction, there's so much narcissism, right? There is so much narcissism coming through our governments, coming through all sorts of different areas. The reason it is happening is because people are being shaken awake. Everybody, my guides are here because my nose is really itchy. If you ever see me doing this, guys, this is my guide. So apologies. That will allow the wisdom to flow through, right? So basically what happens is there's a lot of us. There is a lot of us on the planet that get it. Okay, but we get the children, or we get the CV as a hoax, or we get whatever. Okay, we get that on maybe an intellectual level, maybe on a spiritual level, whatever. It's irrelevant, but we get it. However, there are a lot of people that don't get it. There are a lot of people that have believed everything that they've been shown. Now, what is starting to come out in the newspapers, like literal newspapers, is people are dying with, not of. Now, that's a huge statement. So for all of the people that have been believers, for all of the people that truly, truly believe that their loved one died of, they are now going to have to go, oh, hang on a minute. Well, if that isn't true, then what else isn't true? Now, remember, people are being shaken, awakened. We must trust. This is why when I spoke this morning on my Instagram live, we need to be balancing our collective consciousness, because every time we dip into it, we're like, oh my God, we told you, like, how much longer can this go on for? We told you, this isn't a conspiracy. That's just dragging the collective consciousness down. What we need to be saying is, I know, fascinating, right? Fascinating. Do you need any more information? Would you like to talk about it? How can I serve you? Because this has been my norm for a lot longer than it has been yours. What can I do to make this situation better for you? That's the conversations I'm having. I'm not saying to my mum, oh, I'm not prepared to speak to you about it now. I wanted to speak to you 6 months ago. I'm saying, hey, yeah, I know, right? And I'm getting I'm really sorry for not listening to you. It doesn't matter. You didn't need to listen to me. You had to do it your way. It's your journey. I respect you. I love you. I honor you. Just know that I'm here for you now. If you would like any information, please just ask me. I'm never going to judge you. I'm never going to hold it against you. I'm never going to throw it back in your face. And this is what is happening right now. So many people that have been so solid in their belief system are literally being rattled. I know at some point there is going to be something where all of the deaths that have been and gone, I think all of them are going to get reviewed. I do. I think that there's going to be like a massive going back in time. If you scroll up a couple of comments, Keith Fee Maori has actually put it above. So if you just scroll up a couple of comments, you can get the email address from there. All of these people now are going to have to, I've got people in my family that truly believe that their loved ones have passed from the CV. They do. They truly believe it. And I'm like, well, okay, if that's what you believe, that's okay. All I'm going to suggest to you is that maybe you look at this and maybe you look at that. And, if you still think it was the CV, then I honor and I love you and I respect you. However, the truth be known, all of us conspiracy theorists have been saying it all the way through. This is pneumonia mixed with the flu and mixed with a cold. Which is why putting somebody on ventilation will easily kill them. It will easily kill them because it's not what you're supposed to do. There's a lady that I used to know on Facebook. I don't know if she follows me on Instagram. I don't know if she's on my YouTube channel, but there was a lady who very in the early days, her partner passed. And my questions to her were, okay, what did he go into hospital with? And he had massive health issues, massive health issues. He was overweight. He had lung issues. He had all of this stuff. And he actually went in with what I believe was pneumonia, and they put him on ventilation. They literally put the ventilation into his lungs, and he passed. Okay, like it's the wrong treatment. The people that did that to him will be tried for crimes against humanity. Nobody is going to get away with what they've done. If people have been treating people because they truly, truly believed that was the right course of action, they will have a different treatment to the ones that have been pushing this stuff. And this is why it's very important. I know hundreds and hundreds of NHS workers that are stepping out of at the NHS right now. I get messages from incredible men and women, mainly women, but some men as well, on a day-to-day basis, saying, I'm quitting my job, I'm speaking out, I need to whistleblow, I need to speak about this stuff. Why? Because they know in their soul that they are going to be held responsible unless they speak out. This is about karma. This is about our consciousness now. If you are doing something, if you are administering the V, for example, and you're like, oh my God, I know that this is hurting people. I've seen somebody die and I've seen this happen and I've seen that happen and I'm still doing it, I'm still doing it, I'm still doing it because I need money. Please know you are going to be one of those people that are going to have to justify why you've done what you've done. Because I need to pay my bills is not an excuse anymore. This is about increasing the collective consciousness on this. You must speak out. People must start coming together. People are dying. Innocent people are dying because of this. Listen, if somebody, I'm pro-choice. I am pro-choice all the way. If somebody wants to take the V, I empower them to take that. If they've done the research and if they know the ingredients in it and they are still okay with it, go for your guns. However, if you are somebody that is like, oh my God, none of this is in alignment with my values, I don't like the ingredients, it is really awful, but I'm being forced to do it by the government, or I'm being forced to do it by my work, or I'm being forced to do it by my partner or my parents or whatever, that is when you need to speak up. Because that is when you physically are going against your free will. We know the Nuremberg Code clearly states that nobody will be manipulated into a medical procedure that is not necessary or not wanted or not chosen. How many people out there would not have taken it if it hadn't been blasted on our TV screens, it hadn't been blasted by the government, if they hadn't had to remind us every single day that we were in a pandemic? Like, I don't know about you guys. I've travelled from the north of the UK from the south of the UK up to the north of the UK and back without a mask, and at no point have I been sick through the whole of this. Why? Because I look after my immune system. I eat plant-based. I drink Highland spring water like it's the best water in the UK, other than obviously you can get Kangen and stuff like that. But from a bottled water perspective, it's the least toxic. I drink 4 litres of water a day, guys. I am like 59 kilos. I'm dinky. I drink 4 litres of water a day. Why? Because water is what our body needs. I have fruits and vegetables with everything. I do not eat meat. I do not eat dairy. I do not eat processed. I do not have sugar. I have bloody clean supplements. Like, literally, I have the cleanest supplements that you can possibly imagine. I do not think, I'm hungry, I'm going to go and grab a chocolate bar. I think, I'm hungry, I'm going to have some fruit and nut, and I make sure that the fruit hasn't had all of the additives in it to make it last longer. Because that's the thing, guys. You might be thinking you're doing the right thing by eating sultanas or raisins or whatever, but if they've got certain additives on them to make them last longer and keep them safer, actually, it's just as bad as having a chocolate bar. We have been, this is an illusion that we are living in. We are living in an illusion that there is a lack of food, there is a lack of wealth, there is a lack of health, that we are living in an illusion. And I want to just remind you guys that people are choosing the illusion that they live in. Now, as we ascend, as we go through this, we are going to still have the illusion. We're still going to have the illusion, okay? As we ascend, we're still going to have the illusion. And the reason I can say this, and I feel very confident saying this, because I actually feel like I live predominantly in 5th dimension. I do. I feel predominantly these days. It's quite interesting. I've had huge shifts. And I obviously have to come back to 3D to be able to help people to ascend. I have to come back down here, to fight. I have to fight the 4th dimension. That's what we're in right now. We are literally fighting the 4th dimension, which is why it's so noisy. But I feel like I live above it. And this is why I'm saying to you, I will come back to you in a sec, Keith. No worries at all. I will answer that question because it's a really good question. I feel that the illusion is going to continue. And I don't know if anyone's ever spoken about this. I don't listen to anybody else. As you guys know, I just allow whatever to channel. I feel that the illusion will still be there in 5th dimension. However, we will be like, that's not true. well, that's not right. Well, we know that we're almost going to have a bit of a laugh at it. And the reason I really truly believe that I'm living in fifth dimension mainly is because I'm giggling. I'm giggling so much. I'm giggling so much at the moment because I'm like, wow, I literally can't believe that anybody believes that this is true. I literally cannot believe any of this is true. So please do, if you find yourself giggling and you're like, my God, how can anybody, please know that you are probably bouncing in the upper sphere of, fourth and fifth dimension, which is freaking awesome. Really awesome. I don't really like to talk about the dimensions as it is. However, I know that it helps you comprehend it. The 3 dimension is where we've been living forever. There's lack, there's, we don't have the health, we can't heal and all the rest of it. The 4th dimension is what is keeping us suppressed. It's the darkness, it's the noise, it's the nastiness, it's the I'm just gonna the reptilians, that is. And I'm not talking all reptilians are bad. I feel like I need to justify that because I had this conversation yesterday. We absolutely need to know this section of people right here are essential to us actually getting above them. And yes, Chris, I feel the same too. It's literally like we are looking in on something and we have got no idea. We're like, seriously, how can this even be happening on our watch? It's extremely, extremely interesting. We just need to step through it. And actually laughter is a really good vibration for us to be sitting in. It's actually very healing. Very, very, very healing. So and I'm going to talk a little bit more about healing in a minute. I don't know why I just feel drawn to, maybe because it's what I do for a job, but I'm going to talk about that. So Keith has asked an amazing question. Lucy, what is something simple that we can do to disconnect from fear? So if you notice, I dropped the word try from Keith's sentence and I actually just said, what can we do? First and foremost, be extremely conscious of the language that you are using. If you are talking try, you're going to get more try. If you are talking want, you're going to get more want. If you are talking need, you're going to get more need. Now, sometimes you will observe I talk in those words. Why? Because people get it. Remember, I'm here to help people come online. I'm here to help people awaken. So sometimes I have to use language like that so that people almost catch on to the consciousness, right? Because otherwise it doesn't make sense. So the first thing that I would personally be doing, if you're not already doing it, which I'm sure you already are, is disconnect from the television. Television program. You are being programmed to television. Okay? Disconnect from that. The other thing that I would be doing is disconnect from any newspapers or disconnect from any magazines and that stuff that brings up this competition and this comparison and that you're not good enough. Because what happens when you are not feeling good enough is you are in lack and you are in suffering. Okay? You are in total suffering. Now, what is the point? What is the absolute point in living in this incredible world? Like, I'm looking out the window now and the sky is blue. There's a couple of clouds. The sun is shining. Like, it is so exciting to be alive here. It is so exciting to be alive. Don't believe the nonsense that they tell you that it's doom and gloom. No, find your own pleasures. Figure out what really makes you happy. Figure out what, activates your divine heart space. We must activate. We must connect. Another thing to step away from fear is go find people that get you. Go find your tribe. Watch videos of people that are, in your opinion, enlightened. And even if you end up finding that maybe they weren't as enlightened as you thought, don't worry about it. Literally, just go along with it. Take the learning that you need to take from people. Immerse. If you know somebody who is super happy all of the time, follow them. No, I don't mean literally and stalk them, but I mean follow them on social media. Like, figure out what it is. How are they happy all of the time? What are they doing? Now, you guys will know without any question, I'm out running every single morning without fail. Every single morning without fail. Every single morning, I make sure that I do 2 hours worth of rituals before I go out running. You know, like I look after this because this is all I have. Let's stop comparing ourselves. Let's start doing. What can you do today? If you are a sugar addict, what can you do today? Maybe start dropping the one teaspoon of sugar from your tea. Maybe, you know, replace the first chocolate bar of the day with a bar with some fruit or something like that. Like, please do recognize this. It's so simple. And like I was saying at the beginning, like I got that message, didn't I, this morning about, you know, the worries of money are almost gone. So start looking after your physical vessel now, because unless you are looking after your physical vessel, you're not going to be here to see the abundance. We are being hit hard in our physical vessels right now. I mean, I've got a bruise like this. Maybe I'll show you. I went back to Muay Thai yesterday. Can you guys see the bruise on my leg? Literally, like, and I know that bruise means something. I know that there is masculine energy that is trapped, which is why I've got that bruise on my leg. Okay, I do Muay Thai all the time, as you guys know, you know, but my body is aching today because it feels like it's had a good workout. I'm not going to sit there like, oh, you know, poor me, I can't go running today. No, quite the contrary. I'm out there running because I know it's essential for me. So what is essential for you? And it's huge. Honestly, if you, it's like, it's massive. It's so lumpy, but I know exactly the energetics. I know exactly the energetics that it relates to, so I can unlock that, right? So this is what we need to be doing. My another really great tip is when you step into a space of fear or suffering, go for a walk. Literally go for a walk. If you are somebody who is perhaps a little bit unhealthy, start walking 10,000 steps a day. Start with 5, set yourself a target of a month or 2 months and get it up to 10,000. Simple as that. Simple as that. The stagnant energy that has been locked in your body for the last however many months you've been locked down will start to release. There is a reason I run every day. There is a reason I eat the foods I eat every day. There is a reason I have salt baths and I do affirmations and I do absolutely everything. I think I've got some on my elbows too. Look. She's back. You know, interestingly enough, it's always on the right hand side, but I'm very strong on my right hand side. My right hand, my cross is my killer punch. Nobody lasts it. Literally, it's my knockout punch. It's I've won many fights with that. So you know, it's just so the right hand side of my body is very interesting, and that's where all of my trauma was over the years. So you know, it's fascinating. It's fascinating, guys, when you actually love yourself enough to do the right things by it. You know that you're like, okay, well, that's that then, and this is this, and your body will actually talk back to you. Okay, so please, if you are somebody that is like, oh my gosh, I can't pay my bills, or I can't do this, or I can't do that, start loving yourself more. Please start loving yourself more, because what will happen with that is when you love yourself more, you will be able to create more love into your life. The other thing that I want to share with you guys as well, and this has just popped into my head, so somebody clearly needs to hear it. If you have nothing, yes, I like that, Chris. That's amazing. So Chris has put, I started looking after myself more and found I actually quite like myself. Would never have said that 18 months ago. How awesome is that? How awesome is that? Like, that is what is so important. Remembering that actually, do you know what? You picked this physical vessel. You picked it. You wanted to go on this journey. Well, you just don't remember it. And actually, there is nothing better to love than you, because then you can give it out to everybody else. And I'd love to hear, Chris, if you found that you're being more generous with people and more loving towards people and more vulnerable with people, because that's what I did. When I started going, hey, God, you're actually pretty amazing. Like, you are pretty amazing. I started loving other people more, and that empowered them to love others more. And I have actually created this little ripple of love around the world, and I've sprinkled the gold fairy dust, you know, so people are loving each other so much more. Please remember, when you do something for you and you give it away, you will get an abundance coming back to you. An abundance. We are so incredibly lucky that we have this energy exchange. We constantly have this energy exchange. I sit here and I'll do videos and I'll give you all of my love. And then what's going to happen is Chris is going to leave here feeling really positive, like, yes, I'm smashing it. He's going to go and give somebody a compliment today, or he's going to walk somebody and give them his smile. And all of a sudden, we are going to be having this ripple of love across the world. It doesn't need to be from me. It doesn't need to be from Chris. It doesn't need to be from Veronica. It needs to be from all of us. It must be from all of us. Imagine if you look at a child and you smile, and that child then goes and hands that smile to another 50 other people, because that's what kids do. They don't have a block. They don't think, oh my God, I've just smiled at that person. Like, you guys will see if you watch me on my Instagram lives, everybody, whether they want to talk to me or not, everybody I say good morning to, everybody I say hello to, everybody I share a smile with, whether they want to speak to me or not. I don't care. I am putting it out to the universe. My ripple of love is going to turn into a tsunami by the time I am finished. And I'm not even going to need to be here doing it. Okay? I want to create a tsunami of love so everybody feels secure. Are we going to lose people along the way? Yes. Yes. Is it nice? No. However, we must recognize that no matter what, no matter where we are, this journey is about giving and receiving. Constantly, it's an energy exchange. You know, I've got some great people on here that, you know, are moderators and stuff for me. I will do things for them to make sure that there is an energy exchange. They're giving up their time to help me out. That's what's important. This is how the universe is going to work in fifth dimension. So start now. Give somebody a smile. Let them take your smile. Let them take your words. You know, especially when I used to be on Facebook, people literally used to go and copy things that I would say verbatim. They would literally copy the text on my posts and put it as their own. And initially I was like, my ego is like, don't like that. But then I was like, actually, do you know what? You want to create a tsunami of love. How are you going to do that if people can't take your words and go and share them with other people? So I dropped that and I was like, do you know what? It is what it is. If people want to talk about what I'm talking about, great, go for your guns. If people want to literally use my words, and people do, because I come out with such like cute things like ripple of love, I will hear loads of people talking about the ripple of love now. You know, I come out with things like, I don't know, shaking your booty when it comes down to movement. So what do I hear? A lot of people talking about shaking your booty, or, you know, nourishing your cells, or nourishing your physical, or something like that. And people mirror my language. Why would I be angry at that? Why would I have an issue with that when I want to create this absolute tsunami? You know, absolute tsunami of love around the world. The only way we are going to be doing it is by saying, hey, here, have my love. You go do with it whatever you need. Because then what's going to happen is an abundance of it is going to come back to me. Because one of you guys would have smiled, I would have smiled at somebody who's then gone in, yeah, hey, love beams. Everybody loves me calling everyone love beams. I've gone out for a walk and I've smiled at Veronica. Veronica has gone out on a walk and smiled at Keith. Obviously, we're in totally different countries, but just hypothetically speaking, Keith has then gone and smiled at Ashley, who's smiled at Joanne, who's then smiled at me as she's walked past me. So it does full circle. That is the power of what we are doing here. That is why when everybody says to me, Lucy, you're so, you know, far from the mark, you know, it's so sweet that you think that we can create love and we can do this and we can do that. And it's all about the love vibration. But it's true. It's true. Every time I speak, somebody will use the language that I speak. And I'm like, wow, this is really cool. This is the way that it works. There will be people that come in and out of your life. I mean, how many of you have ever been speaking to someone and then they've gone, oh my God, I even know that person. I know who you're talking about. I used to go to school with them, or I used to work with them, or I used to this, or I used to that. We are so not detached from each other, guys. We are all one. We are all the same. We must recognize this. We have such gifts inside of us. I never knew what love was. Literally, I never knew what love was. I was so angry. I was so hurt. I was so wounded that I treated everybody with like that. Actually, that's not true. I treated men that I was intimate with. I treated them so badly because what if they hurt me? But now I'm like, I'm just going to be me. I'm going to be vulnerable. I'm going to allow everybody into my life. And I know whatever happens to me is stuff that I am calling in as a reminder to learn. Literally, I don't look at somebody when they're horrible to me and I'd be like, oh my God, why are you being so mean to me? I look at them and I'm like, wow, I never realized I was calling that in. Thank you for showing me. Thank you for showing me that I needed to take this. I needed to do this. I needed to evolve through this. Love is the answer to everything. No matter the question, guys, love is the answer. Guys, can you hit the thumbs up, the like button on the video? I think you might need to do it afterwards. I don't know how the way that it works, but if you can, smash the like button on this video for me, because there's a lot more of you on than are liking it. So if you can smash the thumbs up for me, because then that will get YouTube. Hopefully it will stop them giving me another strike. You know what they're like. They don't like me talking about these subjects. So, you know, my response to everything, if somebody sends me something, like a guy posted some porn, or somebody posted some porn or a naked picture on my Sunday service when I did my live on Sunday, and thankfully my admins were on the ball and they were doing it, but I'm like, I'm just going to send that person love. Like, isn't it sad that somebody feels that a live where we're talking about humanity and we're talking about ascension and we're talking about things like that, basically, isn't it sad how somebody feels that the right tone is to spam porn? You know, porn is going to go. In the new earth, porn is going to go. Fact. It's low vibration. We're going to remember what true love is. We are going to remember how sex is a massive part, you know, is a massive part of what we are doing. We must remember that sex is sacred. That doesn't mean that you can't have sex and go and have fun with it and, you know, be a little bit naughty with it. No, not at all. But it's the intention. You remember at the beginning I was talking about the highest vibration. It's the intention that you've got behind the sex that you're having. I don't know how I've ended up speaking about sex, but here we are. Porn and sex. You know, what more can we talk about? I love talking about sex, by the way, guys, and maybe I will actually do a proper video on it. I feel the consciousness around sex. We've basically made sex something dirty, and it's not. It's not at all. Sex is something that we need to normalize. Sex is something that we need to show our children is absolutely normal. You know, even down to masturbation. Masturbation isn't something that people should shy away from and be embarrassed about. Like, it's normal to know what's going on with your body. Yes, I thought all of you would be here, like eyes perked up, and all of a sudden we're in. I love that, Emma. We need to be normalizing it. We need to be recognizing that actually our body is really, really important, and we need to know how it works. How can we show a loved one how it works if we don't know ourselves? Please don't find this a taboo subject. Please, you know, embrace the fact that sex is what brought you here. Isn't it amazing? Isn't it amazing that our creator decided that we needed a man and a woman to be able to procreate? They gave the man one thing and the woman the other thing, and we actually can come together and we can procreate. Sorry, excuse the pun there. You know, but we can procreate and we can make new life. Isn't it wonderful that our creator thought that we needed one of you? Think about it. Think about how many people are involved in you being on this planet. You've got two parents, which need obviously two sets of parents, which obviously need two sets of parents. Think about it. Think about it. Think how many people have created your reality in this physical vessel. The porn, the side of things that the darkness have brought in, it's been to control. I mean, I know people that are addicted to porn. I know people that are addicted to sex. Like I know a lot of people with addictions. And this is why I like to talk about it. We must recognize that sex has been demonized over the years. Sex is such a beautiful, and I'm not saying that you can't be promiscuous. You know, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that you have to find one person, because at the end of the day, if you want to try a few different partners out or whatever, that's absolutely fine, as long as you have the highest intention and you are honest with people. And this is where most intentions are like lost. A lot of people are like, oh yeah, you know, I'm going to say what I need to say to this person to get them into bed, but then behind their back, I'm going to be doing this, this, and this. Like, if that's what you want to do, be honest with the person. Let them make the choice. Okay, I know this person isn't really interested in me. They literally just want to have sex with me. So am I okay with that? Now, quite frankly, my answer would be no. Whereas back in the day, I was promiscuous as heck, because I was so insecure in myself. I thought that that was getting me attention. Well, it did get me attention, but it was the wrong attention. Whereas now I'm like, do you know what? I'm not putting out for anybody unless it means something special. You know, and I know there will be people that we have sex with. If, you know, if you're single and you have sex with somebody, then it's not going to manifest into a relationship, but it will be something, there will be something that you need to recognize. There will be something that you need from that person. And what you know, the calling, the lessons that you've learned, we must honor ourselves. It basically boils down to, we need to know what we want to be able to ask for it. Thinking that, oh, you know, I just want to have sex, I just want to do this, I just want to do that, you are going to attract just that. If you want to have a loving, conscious relationship, you need to be really clear on it, and you need to be very clear that by some of the things that you might be doing behind the scenes, and I'm not talking masturbation, like, let's be really clear about it. I'm talking like porn. Remember, dark entities can come through you by watching porn and things like that. You know, it's down to you what you do, but always set the intention of the absolute highest vibration. Who thinks I should do a whole video on sex? Who thinks I should just open it up? And I don't mean literally there, by the way. Who thinks I should do a video on sex and porn and the divine and masculine energies and that kind of stuff? You know, because I feel there's a lot of people out there at the moment that are single, that are completely lost in this. I also feel that there are a lot of people out there in, you know, sexless relationships and marriages and stuff like that. You know, so I'm up for doing it if you guys are, but you're going to need to show up, and you're really going to need to be really, really vulnerable with me and open, because, you know, this is a really interesting subject for us to talk about. When you have gone from somebody like myself, I'm a really good example. You know, I thought, you know, I had a really beautiful, loving relationship when I was young, for many years. Then I kind of figured out that I was attractive to people. And then I had another really long relationship. But then after that, I was very promiscuous. It's because I'd been hurt. It's because I wasn't able to be vulnerable. It's because I had put these boundaries around me. So I became extremely promiscuous. Now, when I say extremely, it hasn't been thousands of people or hundreds of people, just to let you guys know. But I went through a stage where I was literally like, you know, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. It made me feel cheap. It made me feel nasty. But I thought it was going to bring me love. I thought it was going to bring me the attention. I thought it was going to create. Now, the reason I had to live through that and I had to exist in that was because I needed to remember how to be vulnerable. I needed to remember how to say what I wanted from people, and actually recognize that actually just because somebody shows interest in you, and this is where I find it very interesting with a lot of men, because I look them straight in the eye and I'm very communicative and I'm very vulnerable. A lot of men think that I want to be with them, and I don't. So I've had to really use my voice in that sense. You know, I know extremely what I want in my life. You know, I've got it nailed. I know exactly what it is. And whereas guys sometimes think that because I'm chatty or I have discussions or I speak to them or whatever, that they get the wrong impression. That's old programming. It's old programming. And I know that this is one thing that I am extremely, extremely resonant of is, I love it. Lucy, my friend Kim just arrived. It feels like you're talking to her. Hello, Kim. Lovely to see you, darling. Lovely to meet you. Welcome to, we were talking about porn and sex. What better time to arrive? You know, we must remember that we are literally calling in everything. We are calling it in, whether you like it or not, we are calling it in. Now, I chose, like I say, I chose to be promiscuous because I needed to remember how to be vulnerable. My gosh, I used to get attention from somebody and just be like, oh my God, I'm going to have to kiss them, or I'm going to have to speak to them, or I have to do whatever. And actually, now I'm like, oh, I'm so flattered. Thank you so much. It's a really beautiful thing. However, blah, 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 whatever I'm feeling. Vulnerability, and you know, this is the thing. I actually had a conversation with my friend who I'm staying with at the moment. Literally last night, I said to him, if you want to be the man, you've got to be the pursuer. Like, if you want to be the divine masculine energy, because we were having a conversation about something, and I just said to him, listen, you want to be the man, you want to be the masculine, because he is a masculine guy. But he was kind of like, well, why should it be down to me? You know, you girls want the feminist act and all the rest of it. And I'm like, no, but that's old programming. That's how you've been programmed to believe. You are the hunter-gatherer, the masculine, divine masculine. Doesn't matter if it's in a female or a male. The divine masculine is the hunter-gatherer. The divine masculine needs to allow the divine feminine to feel safe so that she can shine and she can heal and she can nurture. So be very clear of this. And I'll go into this a lot more in the video. I think it's really important that I do this video, actually. So we must normalize sex. We must normalize sex. It is the most normal thing that we've got. Very interesting. I had issues all my life, and it was based on how I was brought up by a mother that was an abused child. She made us feel it was a dirty, bad act. Yes, and this is why we must normalize talking about this. And this is my huge passion, Nicola, as you know, around the children, is I remember my mum never even spoke to me about periods. You know, I like the sex education I had was at school using a banana and a condom. Do you get what I mean? It's no shock that I went through a phase of my life, and that's not me putting my parents down. My parents were doing the best they could, exactly like Nicola's were, exactly like other people's were. However, we need to normalize this because we have a whole generation of kids coming behind us that really do need to recognize that sex is not dirty. Sex should not be shameful. And I feel if we actually raise the consciousness on this and we actually normalize it, what we will do is we will realize that our children are getting to 16 years of age and then having sex rather than the 13s or the 12s or whatever. I mean, I've heard some horror stories of people at 10, 12 having children. Horror stories. Why are they doing that? Because we are shying away from it. We're pretending that it doesn't happen. We are making it out to be a bad act, like Nicola just said. There's nothing bad about sex. What's bad about sex is it's being used as a tool to abuse people. That's what is bad about sex. Now, why do you think, I'm going there a little bit now, but why do you think that it has been normalized? Because porn says you've got to pull her hair, you've got to strangle her, she's got to be gangbanged by 5 different people. And when I say she, it could be anyone, by the way. That is what porn says. There isn't, like, when was the last time you watched a porn that was about really, truly making beautiful love? A man and a woman, or a woman and a woman, or whatever, whatever works for you. When was the last time it was truly just about love? It was about connection. That is what we need to be getting to. Not this ripping and pulling and gagging and, which is what they've normalized, which is why the abuse is so rife, because people have this aggression and it's been normalized by the things that people have been watching. We need to start raising the roof on this subject. How are we going to evolve as humanity if we cannot have these subjects? And honestly, it really makes me giggle because my members go, oh, she's talking about sex again. I talk about sex and orgasms constantly. So if anyone's joining my membership in June, no, I talk about sex and orgasms constantly in there, right? I am normalizing this language because some of you are like, oh my God, I can't believe she's talking about it. Other people are like, oh my God, yes. Other people will be like, oh my gosh, this is making me feel sick. Like, how can somebody be so open about it? Where we are going, telepathy is all that's going to be used. You may as well start being honest. Literally, you may as well, really, really start acknowledging where you've been and where you've come from, because it's going to be your story. I love what you said there, Maria, about religion has made sex a sin as well. Yes, absolutely. Okay, we have, and this is why the matrix is being dismantled. A couple of things that I've said recently, and I don't know if I've said it here, so I'm going to just say this and then I'll close out because I've gone on a right old tangent. It's been like a box of quality streets today, hasn't it? I've just been all over the place. But one thing that we must recognize is it's down to us to choose what the program is. It's down to us to choose our program. It's down to us to do the work to make sure that we are actually living in alignment. We must recognize we are far more powerful than we've ever led to believe. We must recognize that everything that we are being shown in books and in movies particularly. I mean, when was the last time you saw a loving sex scene in a movie? No, it's like some crazy porn movie, right? So we need to start recognizing and speaking about it. We need to be owning our truth. We must own our truth. We are such incredible beings. And what I was going to say before I just went off on that last little tangent is I see spirituality is going to be coming back with in kind of like a new form, if that makes sense. And we're going to take the best of Christianity, we're going to take the best of Hinduism, we're going to take the best of Muslim, we're going to take the best of everything, because there are good qualities in all of it. But what we're going to be doing is we're going to be pulling it together so that it isn't a sin to do anything. Nothing is a sin, otherwise we wouldn't have it. We must remember polarity. We choose. Yes, there should be one coming out this week. I can't remember what day it's set to. There's one coming out. You'll be registering to come to the launch call, I think, on the 1st of May. I don't like to bombard people too early. The call is actually on the 1st of June. So I think the registration will be on the 1st of May, Hayley, okay? But there's been an email or 2 emails that have gone out. I'm going to send a couple more emails out between now and when we do it. Kelly, my darling, you are so welcome. You are so welcome. Like, this is why I do this stuff. I don't do this because I've got nothing better to do. I do this because I am literally a channel for the collective. I'm a channel for you guys. I'm here to normalize this stuff. Like Evelyn said that she was celibate for 4 years. I was celibate. I literally, when I split up with my ex-partner, I was celibate for about 16 months. Now, I wouldn't actually recommend, I don't think you need to be celibate, guys. But it's about, for me, I needed to say, hey, I need to stop this. I never cheated on my ex-partner. He was amazing. We were together like 4.5 years. We had an amazing relationship, very, very healthy in every single way. But then when I woke up to my soul mission, I thought I need to figure out what the heck my soul mission is and what it involves before I hurt somebody else. Because when him and I split up, he truly, truly thought I was cheating on him. That's his own stuff, but he did. He was like, I don't understand why you need this relationship to be over. And so I was like, right, I'm not going to have sex with anybody. I'm going to be completely celibate until I know what it looks like that I am bringing to this planet, so then I can share it with somebody and be honest with them. Say, for example, that me and Keith were in a relationship together, because it's the only boy that I can see on here at the moment. Say Keith and I were about to embark on a relationship. I need to say to Keith, you need to be comfortable with me traveling the world. Like, there are going to be times when I get a phone call or I get a download and I have to get on a plane. Literally, I have to go. Now, how many people living in the 3-dimensional world will accept that of somebody? Not many. So I have to have those open conversations. But had I not been celibate for those 16 months, I would never have figured out what it is going to look like for a partner to be with me. Now, I know my forever person has got their own mission. They're going to literally mirror me. They are going to be exactly like that. It's so exciting when you can be in that level of consciousness where you're like, babe, like, I really want to be with you. I find you physically attractive, mentally attractive. My conscience wants to be with you, all of this stuff. However, I need to lay my cards on the table with you and let you know that my soul is here to heal humanity. I am going to get, like my ex-partner had to put up with, literally one day I woke up and I went, I'm going to Brazil. Like, I've got to go to Brazil. And he was like, what the? And I'm like, I'm sorry, I've got to go. That is you honoring your soul journey. That is you honoring your truth. And that's why I share this stuff, guys. Every single thing that I've been through. And don't get me wrong, during those 16 months, I had so many offers. Literally, it was like, because I was like, no, till I figure this out. It was like buses. Literally, they were like buses. And it was like, no, I honor myself. I need to figure this stuff out. So wherever you are in your journey, just know that it's right for you. It's divinely perfect for where you are. Guys, we've got this. Everything I share from me is so that you guys can normalize it. If you guys need to go and speak about it, if you need to share this video with people, please go do that. Do whatever it is that makes you feel comfortable and step into your truth. I cannot imagine getting into a relationship where I didn't know where I stood with somebody now. I know the person that I end up with is going to be like, hey, babe, this is what I've got to do. Cool, nice one. Enjoy yourself. Or can I come? Or whatever. Like, when I disappear off on my missions, it doesn't mean that the other person can't come with me unless they've got like a job that they work. Obviously, it's difficult when you disappear to Brazil for 3 or 4 weeks and your partner works. They can't just quit and go with you. So we need to figure this stuff out. And how can you tell people who you are and what you like and what you don't like if you don't know? And that's in every area of your life. Guys, let's normalize this communication. Let's make it happen. Okay? Oh my God, I don't know what this rant has been about today. Clearly they've had some stuff that they've needed to share. Literally, I'm like, I don't even know what I've just spoken about. I love you to the moon and stars, guys. Please do remember to hit the thumbs up button. Please do remember to subscribe and share this out as far and wide as possible. Who knows, maybe we'll make Wednesday a regular thing. Mwah. Guys, I love you to the moon and stars. Take care. Have the most beautiful day. Lots of love to you.